Have you ever wondered if there's someone walking among us, ageless, hidden, and blessed with divine knowledge, watching humanity's journey unfold across centuries? What if that someone was destined to confront the greatest deceiver the world will ever know? In the pages of Islamic history and eschatology, two figures stand apart. One, a sage said to be alive through the ages, known for his wisdom and mystery, Prophet Khidr, and the other, a dark force prophesied to bring chaos and deception unlike anything humanity has ever seen, the Dajjal. These are not ordinary characters of folklore or fiction. One is believed to have been granted a special kind of knowledge that even Prophet Moses once sought. The other is the embodiment of trials, so powerful that even the strongest believers could be shaken. To understand the weight of their potential encounter, we must first delve deep into who they really are, what they represent, and why their paths might one day cross. Prophet Khidr is perhaps one of the most intriguing personalities in Islamic tradition. His story appears in Surah Al-Kahf, the 18th chapter of the Quran, where Allah commands Prophet Moses to seek him out and learn from his knowledge. Khidr is portrayed not merely as a wise man, but as someone who operates by divine command, executing actions that on the surface seem unjust or even cruel, yet carry deeper wisdom only Allah knows. He damages a boat, kills a child, and repairs a wall in a hostile town, all actions that baffle Moses until their meanings are revealed. The lesson is clear: some truths lie beyond the scope of human understanding. But beyond this account, Khidr's story continues in the minds and hearts of scholars and mystics. Some believe that he was granted a life that continues until the end of time, a view held by a portion of classical scholars like Imam Nawawi and found in some narrations within the Sufi tradition. Though this is not universally agreed upon and not established by definitive evidence, the idea remains powerful. A servant of Allah who has walked the earth for centuries, appearing only when guided by divine command, often during moments of crisis or to assist the righteous. While Prophet Khidr represents hidden knowledge and divine mercy, Dajjal, often translated as the Antichrist or the false Messiah, is the ultimate test of faith. In authentic hadith, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ described Dajjal as a one-eyed deceiver who will first claim to be a prophet and then claim divinity itself. His powers will be astonishing. He will control rainfall, make barren lands grow, revive the dead, or appear to do so, and traverse the entire earth in a matter of days. But his miracles are false, his message is a lie, and his mission is to lead humanity astray. The Prophet ﷺ warned that no trial since the creation of Adam will be greater than the fitna, trial of Dajjal. His appearance will not be random. It will come at a time when the world is deeply wounded, morally, spiritually, and even physically. Before Dajjal steps onto the world stage, Earth will endure one of its darkest phases. According to narrations such as those in Musnad Ahmed, there will be 3 consecutive years of drought and famine. In the first year, the heavens will withhold 1/3 of their rain, and the earth 1/3 of its crops. In the second year, 2/3 will be lost. By the third year, there will be no rain at all. Not a single plant will grow. Hunger, despair, and hopelessness will dominate. It is in this broken world, stripped of its illusions, that Dajjal will emerge. He will offer food to the starving, water to the thirsty, and prosperity to the desperate, but at a cost: the surrender of one's faith. This is what makes his deception so powerful. His fitna is not just about belief, it's about survival. People will not only be tempted by luxury, but cornered by necessity. And this is where the tension between Khidr and Dajjal becomes so compelling. One operates quietly, in secret, with knowledge from above, never seeking power or recognition. The other announces himself with loud claims of divinity, uses spectacle and fear, and seeks to dominate the entire earth. The contrast is stark: silent wisdom versus loud deception, timeless obedience versus temporary power. If the two were ever to meet, it would not be a simple confrontation of light and darkness. It would be a test moment, one that crystallizes the entire spiritual journey of mankind. But before we imagine such a meeting, we must first understand why the world is the way it is before Dajjal emerges, and what kind of world would necessitate such a deceiver. Because Dajjal does not rise in a vacuum. He rises when humanity's soul is already hollow, when materialism has blinded hearts, and when truth becomes harder to recognize than lie. And in such a world, it is the unseen servants of Allah, hidden protectors of faith, like Khidr, who might stand as the last spiritual resistance against the collapse of belief. Dajjal's rise will not simply be the appearance of an evil figure. It will be the culmination of centuries of spiritual erosion, a time when the majority of people are no longer able to distinguish truth from falsehood. His deception will not be crude or easily exposed. It will be subtle, persuasive, and terrifyingly convincing. He will speak the language of logic to confuse the intellect, the language of need to manipulate the desperate, and the language of miracles to overpower those who rely only on what they see. He will appear as a savior to those drowning in suffering, offering relief that seems divine, but is deeply poisoned. One of his most sinister powers will be the ability to control the elements of life. He will command the skies and they will rain. He will point to dry lands and they will bloom. He will order food to appear and it will come. To a starving, desperate world, this power will seem like mercy, but the price will be steep: belief in his divinity. And the terrifying part, he won't force anyone. He will tempt them. They will choose him willingly, believing they are being saved, when in reality they are surrendering their souls. He will bring people back from death, or so it will appear. He will heal the sick, or so they will think. But every illusion he performs will be designed to pull hearts away from Allah and into worship of him. It is not that his deception will be difficult to spot intellectually. It will be difficult to resist emotionally. He will offer survival in exchange for belief. And in a time of famine and fear, that exchange will make sense to many, but not all will fall. There will still be believers, those who hold firm to their faith, those who recognize that Dajjal's so-called miracles are merely tricks, those who remember the warnings of the Prophet Muhammad. Yet even these strong-hearted individuals will face tests. Dajjal's arrival will be an earthquake to the soul, shaking even the foundations of certainty. No one will be safe from the fitna, except by Allah's mercy. And one of the most overlooked, yet critical aspects of this trial is how it will target women in particular. The Prophet ﷺ warned, in several authentic narrations, that the majority of Dajjal's followers would be women. This is not a statement of blame, but a warning of vulnerability. He ﷺ understood the emotional and societal pressures that would make women especially susceptible in that era. The world during Dajjal's reign will be brutal. Families will break down. Safety will be rare. Resources will be scarce. In that atmosphere, the promise of peace, food, and protection will be powerful weapons of manipulation. Women, mothers, daughters, sisters, will find themselves at a crossroads, endure hardship in the name of faith, or accept comfort at the price of their soul. The Prophet ﷺ described a scenario where men will literally tie up their female relatives, not out of control or oppression, but out of desperation to protect them from being deceived. Fathers will bind their daughters, husbands will lock away their wives, brothers will hide their sisters, because the pull of Dajjal will be so strong, so emotionally overwhelming, that even the purest intentions might crumble in his presence. This is not a critique of women. It is a wake-up call for everyone, especially in a time where emotional and spiritual clarity will be nearly impossible to maintain. The fitna will be tailored to our deepest fears and desires, and Dajjal will use them masterfully. And yet even in the chaos, not all places will fall under his control. Despite his almost limitless reach, there will be two cities on earth that he will never be able to enter: Makkah and Medina. These two sanctuaries will remain protected, not by technology, not by human defenses, but by the divine order of Allah. Angels will guard every gate, every road, every hidden path leading into them. As Dajjal approaches, trying to spread his influence there, the earth itself will rebel against him. According to authentic narrations, he will reach the outskirts of Medina, and his mere presence will cause earthquakes, so intense that all the hypocrites and disbelievers hiding in the city will be forced out. They will flee to him, revealing their true loyalties, while the sincere believers will stay protected within the spiritual fortresses of those sacred lands. Imagine a world where every country, every city, every village has been touched by Dajjal's lies, except Makkah and Medina will shine like islands of light in a sea of darkness. And yet even then, the trial will not be over, because the believers inside must still resist the fear, resist the hunger, resist the doubt. They must hold on to faith when everything outside is screaming to let go. These cities will be more than places. They will be symbols of the last stand of true faith, of divine protection in a world gone mad, of hope that even when the earth is drowning in falsehood, truth still has a home. But even as Dajjal is barred from entering these holy sanctuaries, his power will continue to grow. His speed will be unimaginable. He will move across the globe in ways no army, no regime, no prophet before him ever has. The prophet Al-Kahf described his travel as being like clouds driven by the wind. In just 40 days, Dajjal will circle the earth, but those 40 days will not be like normal ones. The first will feel like a year, the second, like a month, the third, like a week, and the rest will be like normal days. What kind of fear must exist in a day that feels like an entire year? How do you stay firm when every moment feels like an eternity of temptation? How do you pray, fast, and survive in a time that breaks even the rhythm of time itself? That is the level of trial Dajjal brings. It's not just about geography. It's about perception, about warping reality so thoroughly that people forget who they are, where they come from, and who their creator is. He will have no army in the conventional sense. His weapons will be confusion, seduction, fear, and hunger. He will not take lives to conquer. He will offer life, and people will gladly submit. His war is not against nations. It is against heart. And for many, tragically, he will win. Not because he is more powerful than Allah, never that, but because people will allow themselves to believe that survival is more important than truth. And when the world accepts comfort over conviction, the deceiver finds his throne. It is in this world of shattered certainty and upside-down truths that the idea of a confrontation between Prophet Khidr and Dajjal takes root. Though this specific encounter is not mentioned in any authentic hadith, it has been echoed across generations in Islamic eschatological reflections, mystical traditions, and end-times lore. The concept itself is powerful because of what each figure represents.